Hey there, Brittany Stewart here. I am the co founder of Burst, an angel investor and venture advisor. In my time, I've crossed paths with a lot of incredible entrepreneurs over the years, many of them moms like myself. And the advice that these women have is amazing. So today we're going to sit down with Sara. She is the co founder of Hugh and Grace, and we're about to do a founder exchange. Hello, Sara.
Hello, Brittany.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
So, Sara, I am obviously very familiar with the story of Hugh and Grace, but I think it would be so helpful for you to share with everyone here what is Hugh and Grace and why did you start it?
Thanks for having me, Brittany. I'm Sarah. I'm co-founder and co-CEO of Hugh and Grace. My husband and I founded the company based on a really long personal struggle. We were been married for 21 years, and we struggled for 14 of those years with unexplained infertility. During that time, we did a ton of research saying, why can we not get pregnant? What is going on? And what's in our environment that's impacting our health? And we learned about the topic of hormone health. And we learned about the topic of hormone disruption and also about the importance of the products and things that we were using in our daily lives. The amazing part of our story is my husband's sister volunteered to be our surrogate and gave birth to our son, Hugh. And then my sister, when he was almost one, called and said, I want to try to give Hugh a sibling. So she volunteered to be our second surrogate and gave birth to our daughter, Grace. So we have our Hugh and our Grace. We joke the names sound like a 90-year-old couple, but the name Hugh means heart, mind, and spirit. And the name Grace means goodness, generosity, and love. And that's what brought us our children. And then it was after having our kids and just saying, we were given so much and we know so much about a topic that really impacts everyone. When we were learning about hormones, we were thinking just with fertility, testosterone, estrogen, let's make a baby. But taking a step back and realizing that hormones really impact every aspect of our health, our physical health, our mental health, our sexual health, even our skin health, and saying, what can we do to pay forward what we were given? And how can we really leverage this information, leverage our networks, and really create a solution that will hopefully help other people.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that with me. When we started Burst, what I learned very quickly was that the oral health disease situation was so much bigger than I had ever known. The number one disease state for children in the world, point blank period, is oral health disease. So help us understand, how bad is this hormone problem?
So over 80% of women struggle with hormone issues. Men, I should know the statistic on that too, but it's interesting. When we were going through all of our research and saying, there's a study that said the average woman puts on over 168 chemicals and is exposed to up to 600 chemicals a day in your environment. The average man puts on over 80 chemicals a day. It can be a scary statistic, like you just said, but how do we create products that people want to use in their daily life that help that problem, help that issue, and have people feel like they're having a luxurious experience while they're using our products?
Okay, so help me understand. So I'm actually going to pull up one of your products here. So
Yes.
you sent me this multi-purpose cleaner. So
Mhm.
how is this mission of being better than clean, being hormone safe? How do you decide what goes in here and how do you formulate these products?
Yep. So when we were saying, how do we create a solution? We want the solution to be relatively simple. Because, yes, nutrition and exercise definitely play into health and hormone health as well. But we would want to say, let's actually focus what goes on, in, and around your body. Because it's stuff that you surround yourself with, the chemicals you're spraying around the house, the stuff you're putting on your skin. I was doing all my rounds of IVF and I'd rub a hormone cream on my leg, get my blood levels tested the next day, and my hormones had spiked. I'm like, oh, God, like how did I not fully realize that the stuff you're running on your skin actually impacts your hormones? But you think about the pain patch, the nicotine patch. Like, yes, those also impact, put them on your skin, it gets in your body. So we started with skincare. We then launched our wellness line a year later, and then just launched our home line early this summer. But it's really saying, like, let's create simple solutions. We call it simple swaps that people can use that will actually help reduce that number of chemicals they're exposed to on a daily basis, but also help improve your hormone health.
As you know, the night serum has long been my favorite product of yours. So, specifically, what is maybe not in this or in this that makes this better for my hormones?
So what we do is we first, when we formulate, we obviously formulate without hormone disrupting chemicals, but we really want to have product pillars that help benefit your health as well. So we don't want to just focus on what we're not. So we actually don't have a no list or a never list. And we say, okay, our product pillars, we help detox, repair, and protect the body. And also the night serum, make your face glow and reduce wrinkles and shine. Yes. So all of the
And
stuff that you look.
also,
Yes.
it smells really good. I feel luxurious when I put it on at night and then I'm going to sleep. So this is my number one at the Hugh and Grace, just for the official record.
Yes, and official record. These two are ours at birth. So, but I think it's interesting because we found we're both co-founders, and you see an issue and you say, okay, how can I create a solution? What does that even look like? And so we actually went and said, okay, this is a huge issue. Where do we start? The reason we started with skincare is that it's actually one of the fastest ways to help reduce your chemical exposure because what you're putting on gets in. But as we formulated it, and then as you were looking at this problem and saying, okay, how do you fix it and how do you do it in an elevated way and make products that people actually want to use and feel good using?
I love that. So, another thing that we really have in common is that the mission is at the center of the company. So, you know, can you give me some examples of how being mission driven rather than product driven has altered how you are running a business?
Yes, so our mission is to help improve hormone health, but also create awareness. And so it was really, now the topic of hormone health is starting to trend. But when we were formulating 5 years ago and launching our business 2.5 years ago, no one really knew about it. And so it was creating this this place for people to come and learn. And so we're not just selling products. We are creating awareness. We have content, education. We're building a community. And we said, we're going to build this with people. And I love that we have that in common with our business.
I feel that for us, one of the things that we've learned about being mission driven is that it creates almost a fence around your strategy. Because, and I'm sure you've been presented with this along the way, if someone comes to you and wants to have a partnership, right? And it may be a great revenue opportunity, but it's not a great mission opportunity. Back in the day, we had somebody reach out to us who was like a clear aligner for your teeth, and they wanted to partner with us. They knew we had 40,000 dentists and hygienists who recommend our products. We went to our community and we said, "What do you think?" And they said, "Over our dead body." That this particular company is not aligned with how we think this should be done. We don't want to do this. So we didn't do it. And so for me, it has created enormous opportunities. And it's also created safeguards about, what is my true North Star? Do you feel that that is true for you as well?
Yes, we have people who are so passionate where they actually go and talk about this and give input and give insight. I think that's probably one of the most special parts of building this brand is that you're building it with people you're able to help guide and share and learn. Ben and I are not product experts. We never thought we'd ever start a wellness brand. He was running a family office. I was always working in philanthropy, but to really go and say, okay, what is this, here's a problem, here's a solution, and then let's all come together and say what actually makes the biggest impact and get that insight and grow with our community.
And so you guys have this advocate program, just like
Mhm.
we have an ambassador program.
Mhm.
How do you define the parameters of what makes someone a Hugh and Grace advocate?
So most Hugh and Grace advocates, they care about hormone health. They don't have to. They can just want to have great products. Our face serum actually replaces multiple steps. And so we have products that are versatile, they're gender neutral. So people can just say like, oh, I love this product, so I want to get them at a great discount. But a lot of people just really care about the mission and they love the authenticity of the brand. Say like, this is a real story. This is something that impacted us in a very real way. And whether it's infertility or if it's you think about hormone health, and people sometimes think about just menopause or fertility, but really you think about it's weight management, it's reduced stress, it's reduced anxiety, it's better sleep, better skin. And so to have those benefits and to be able to have our advocates where they can help share and learn. We have advocates we have world-renowned doctors who are selling our products. So we have hormone experts. And so Ben and I we're smart, but we say we're even better at surrounding ourselves with even smarter people and experts in the industry. And so our advocates really are our experts, and they are on the ground every single day talking to customers. How do we have messaging? We've changed messaging along the way. We used to talk about endocrine disrupting chemicals, and that kind of sounded scary to people. And so like we went to Better Than Clean, but even just promoting hormone health with elevated products that improve your home skin and health. And so I would love to hear, like, I love that we have both had similar business models because my sister's a dental hygienist. My dad's a dentist. I have a lot. I know more about this topic than I think a lot of people do, but I love the fact that you were able to go create a product and a real community, because it's really the community that makes the biggest impact.
So, in order to be a burst ambassador, you do have to be a dental professional. So, this is
Hmm.
not something that's open to just anybody in the community at large.
Hmm.
And so, there we do a thing called burst labs. So, everything that you have, the dentists and hygienists have tested it out. So, same as you, we don't have a never list because science is ever changing and never is a very dangerous word, right?
Yep.
Rather, what we look for is, does this create good healthcare outcomes? Does this stand up to clinical research? What are the notes that they have provided us from testing our products? So I feel like our children's brush is a great example. There's nothing any of us worry about more than our children. And so we sent, every iteration, 1,000 prototypes to dentist hygienists. They gave Hamish notes. Those notes then produced a brush with features that are like, for example, the base of the kid's brush is sort of fat and stubby because kids have chubby little fingers. Our power button doesn't have any spaces in it, so no gook can get in there because kids are also gross. So these are the things that we learn from our community, and the same as you, I will never know more than 40,000 hygienists. What I do know how to do is take their information and synthesize outcomes. And I think another thing that we really have in common is that while you have this primary mission, which is yours is hormone health and mine is oral health, we also have sort of these secondary things. So for you, your products also actually work very well. I don't know if you know this story, but so we warehouse out of Las Vegas. Actually, both of us do. And in Vegas during the winter months, it becomes so dry that it is like oppressive. And we were having an issue in the warehouse where people's lips were so chapped that it was like coming down the side of their face. And we asked you if we could take some of the Hugh and Grace lip balm and give it a shot because we were, and myself included, because I always go into the warehouse during Black Friday. It's like my tradition telling the team that I am here for you. And I'm actually fulfilling Black Friday orders myself. I go in and work the factory line or the warehouse line. And my lips were like just a mess. And I put on your lip mask. And I have to tell you, it's the only thing that worked. You might imagine it's a warehouse full of like male men who, are, that sort of like traditional masculine, if you will. And they're all putting on lip
Put it.
balm from you and Grace.
We worked really, it's so interesting because, as you said, people come to you and they want to do collaborations, or we have a lot of formulators who come to us and they want us to sell the product because this is a top selling product at other companies. I'm like, unless it really works, I worked really hard for my kids. I'm not putting my kids' names on products unless, and they're gender neutral. My son's name is on every product. And so it's actually funny. My daughter just turned 4 and she's like, Mama, how come the company's not Grace and Hugh? How come it's always Hugh and Grace? Like, age order, but
He was
the,
born
the
first.
he was
Like,
what for first. No, but the fact that we had like Ben, our night serum is on a bedstand because he puts on every single night. These products are great for everyone, but I love that because we want our products for people to use because it's better for them.
it is, even, I mean, it's amazing when you find a great product because, at least I'm sure you feel the same way as an entrepreneur. I feel like it's this coat of armor I put upon myself that business is hard every day. And there will be a different hard thing I got to do no matter what. But what makes it less hard is that I know that everything I'm actually trying to get out there makes somebody healthier. And it is really good and the price is really well priced. So I'm not pricing so exhaustively that no one can be a part of our products. And so it's almost like this coat of armor I get to don where I'm like, well, listen, it's the good fight and I'm fighting for it. Like one more sale on Amazon, one more ambassador. It's all for something that actually helps other people. It's not like I'm selling something that's going to make you sick. So that's a very helpful motivator for me when maybe some days are harder than others.
There's never a hard day, Brittany. No, but what I also love is our kids use your toothbrushes and they look forward to like I think they just got the green one, but like they look forward to having that kind of ritual at night where it's like, run downstairs and brush your teeth and they love the buttons and the vibration and it's just, it makes it And also, I also love supporting the female entrepreneurs. So like to be able to see it on our bathroom every single time we come in, it's, I don't know, it's a great reminder that, okay, there are people working together for the greater good, and it's a nice elevated experience.
Transition to a personal question here.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have long admired about you as a person is that I think you are one of the most upbeat, optimistic, resilient people that I have ever spent time with. Like I walk away from hanging out with you just in such a pleasant mood. There's no bad vibes. So I have to ask you, where does it come from? Has this been since day one who you are? Is this something you've developed over your life? What's your secret sauce?
There's always two ways to look at things, and there will always be issues and struggles. And I mean, the 14 years of hell we went through, and then creating a business and doing the, creating business with my husband and having little kids and having the stress. And I think there's always, if I chose to focus on the negative, it'd be a lot to focus on. But by making that conscious decision, saying this is the life I want to live, and to do that, I need to be focused here, because there's, and I think also just having that, like, this is the goal. This is what we're doing. Every single year for New Year's, Ben and I go and my parents take the kids for 3 nights, and we actually go on retreat and we read books and we make plans for the next year. It's not the sexiest thing to do, but it really, every single year we go and we say, okay, this is what's going to happen this year. And then we write that down to have that kind of guidance and say, okay, this is what we're doing. And knowing then every single day you have to do daily things to keep going that way.
What percentage of what you write down at the beginning of the year do you then look at what you wrote down and like, did you do it or not do it? Like, how frequently are you on target for what you have stated as the plan for the year?
Not enough, but no, but we do weekly. We plan weekly. We look at things and say, okay, like, and then monthly, like, where are we? Did we actually accomplish that? Where do we need to go? We just had a big executive team retreat, and so like to do this on a quarterly basis, how do we go and get there? And then you adjust your months and you adjust your, but going back to the attitude, no, because I look at you and I say, you've created so many different companies and you've had different partners and you work with your husband also, and so it's like, how do you create that work-life balance where you're able to work together, to have a relationship, be parents together? It's how do you do it?
Well, actually, I think you and I do the exact same thing on this, which is that I actually don't have a work life and a personal life. I have a life. And these things interweave to one another at all times and all spaces. And so the thing that you and I have in common is that we have both worked our children into our professional lives. So, when I have to go on a broader, longer journey, my son comes with me. I'm not leaving him at home. This kid is like 10 stamps in his passport and he's 3 years old. So, I have decided that there are going to be moments where I'm just Brittany, and there are moments that I'm Brittany the entrepreneur, and then Brittany the wife, and Brittany the mom. But those moments actually weave like a tapestry. They aren't finite in their boundaries. And I know you've kind of done the same, which I think is a good segue into one of the most unique things that I have observed about you guys is that you decided to buy this RV, travel the whole world, the whole country for the entirety of the summer. You, your husband, your two children. Talk to me about it. Why? And what is that experience been like?
When we launched, we had 200 advocates. This is May of 21. And we told our advocates, we said, get 50 people in a room and we're going to show up and support you. So the next few months, Ben and I were in 60 cities across the country. And then and the kids maybe came with us a third of the time. But like some of those trips were like 10 states and 10 days. They were crazy. But we said, we want to be out and we support our field and we care. We learn so much from our advocates and also customers when we meet them about how do we talk about our business and what products do we need. And so the following summer, we bought the RV, 40 foot RV. We tow a car. We wrapped it Hugh and Grace. 2 summers ago, we went from LA to Seattle, Boston, New York, and back, 32 states. We were in 20 states last summer. But really, we want our kids to be with us. And I also, I'm come from a large family, as do you, both one of 6. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, which I love and respect, and I think it's amazing. But I never saw her work. And so I love the fact that my kids, our kids, get to go and learn, and they go to some of these events with us and they see us work, and they also get to see different parts of the country and different people, and not everything is just LA or, so I think this exposure has been so great to show them how it is to work together, play together. We call it mixing lifestyle with livelihood, which is really what your ambassadors, our advocates are also able to do. And so if we're not doing it, we can't really expect other people to do it as well.
I love that. And just as an aside on that topic,
Mhm.
my co-founder at Burst, Hamish, has a mother who is extraordinary and extraordinarily talented and credentialed. And I am now the business partner to somebody who grew up with a mom like you. And so I can tell you from a first person experience, his comfort with the strength of women and powerful women and smart women and assertive women is so authentic because this is what he grew up with. And it has allowed me as an entrepreneur, I've always felt like there have been so many moments where I am like possibly the toughest, strongest person in the room, and I've had to sort of like maybe tamp that down because it makes other people uncomfortable. Hamish is the one person on this earth I feel like I can be the most unlimited, unhinged version of myself, maybe him and my husband, and that's it. That can handle the fullest expression of myself. And so I know that exposing young children to all different types of people, whether it is the stay-at-home mom, the working mom, the part-time mom, what have you, I think the next generation will be so much healthier seeing every perspective and knowing that it's just your choice and every choice is a good choice. It's just the choice for
Mhm.
you. Let's talk about ambassador feedback because I sent you some gifts and I want to tell you about them. So, one of the things that we heard from our community was that we want to see something that travels a little bit better. We want to see something that maybe is a little more compact, maybe something that's a little bit more price sensitive. In the past couple of years, I think a lot of people have had some hard financial times. So we developed a new brush, and that brush is called the Curve, which I just sent to you. If you want to, is it? Do you have it with you? Okay. So this is so the curve is really meant to be a complement um, for people who are using the burst at home. So the curve is got two modes. It has a 75-day battery life. It comes with its own travel cap. That battery, by the way, is rechargeable. And so what I thought of you and Ben was, I sent two of them, was your time in the RV. So now you've got travel to leave the regular burst at home, take these with you. You can go in your purse if you're flying somewhere. We took all of that feedback from the ambassadors to create this travel edition. I thought of you immediately. You're on the road 3 months of the year. And then the other thing I sent you, which you don't have yet, is our floss. So the floss is like your go-to on the road as well. Again, you can fit that in your purse if that's what you need. Um, and we took our OG floss container and made it even more compact. And our floss removes 85% more plaque than the leading competitor, as evidenced by a clinical study. So these
Amazing.
are two gifts for you for people who I know who are on the road literally every time I talk to you. So I hope you enjoy them because I want this to be part of your, additional self-care while you're traveling.
This will be a daily. I joke. One thing I love our products when we said, we live on the RV, our bathroom is this big. And so to be able to have something this small and also like few skincare products, I'm all about compact and also packing. You travel all over the world and like I hate checking bags. And so this is fantastic. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time today to speak with me about Hugh and Grace. You know, I'm a huge advocate for this brand and for what you guys are doing. And I hope that the Burst community checks you out. There's so much we have in common about being mission driven, healthcare driven brands. And is there anything that you want to say before we let you go?
I love that you also empower people with knowledge, with better products, and a real community that everyone benefits together. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for this.
You're welcome. Thank you for I mean, you sent me like a lot of links, so I'm pretty All right. See you guys.
Bye.